Hello and welcome back to the Flour Barn Homestead. Here at our little microbakery, the holidays are full of our favorite recipes, our favorite classes, and some really fun and festive events. As usual, we are open every Friday and Saturday, 8 to 11, but then in addition to that, each week during the holidays, we host 2 classes a week. And that is because we love being able to teach plenty of Christmas cookie classes, as well as our favorite cinnamon roll class. As any small business owner knows, the holidays can be an extra stressful and busy time. We are so thankful to have these opportunities to make memories with our customers as well as with each other. As some of you may know, my cousin Lizzie is getting married, and I am hosting a Christmas market themed wedding shower for her. So on top of getting ready for the Christmas season, we also were planning her wedding shower. So it was a very busy week. Let's get to it. Another thing I did this week was speak at the local school's career day for their middle school. So this is the school that I graduated from, Fairbanks Schools. And I was very excited that they asked me because my brother-in-law is actually in middle school. He's in 8th grade. And I was very excited to come and embarrass him a little bit. There is quite an age gap between him and my husband, if you're wondering. I was a little nervous because my old English teacher actually came in to see this presentation, so that made me a little nervous. But basically I just spoke on starting your own business. I didn't specifically talk about starting a bakery, but I just talked about how to find your customers, how to find a need in your community. And then I had them break out into groups and come up with their own small businesses. And then we kind of played it like Shark Tank, where after they presented their small business, they were judged, and then we picked the best business in the class. And then the winners just won bragging rights. But I did bring cookies for all of them, so I think that earned me some cool points with the kids. I could not have asked for better weather for our Christmas market themed wedding shower for Lizzie. I love doing grazing tables and charcuterie themed buffets. So the idea of doing a Christmas market and having lots of different grab and go options for guests was such an exciting concept to me. I wanted to have lots of different items like roasted pecans, caramel corn, hot sandwiches, and just things that everyone could get onto their plates, take back to their seats, and easily eat, whether they were on a couch or at a table, because this was a cozy place to have a wedding shower for. I think we had 36 people, and my house is not huge, so we definitely were tightly packed, but that's okay when you all love each other and love being around each other. We really had such a great time. But I did want to keep that in mind when I was planning the menu and as I was prepping the room. My sister Paige got married earlier this year, and we threw her a cake picnic and charcuterie table, and you can watch my video on that if you want to. It turned out beautifully, but me and Ellen took on a lot of the items, and I learned this time around to be better at delegating out tasks. So Lizzie has, I want to say 6 bridesmaids, maybe 7. And so I tried to give each of them a task so that it wasn't too overwhelming to host this shower. So I had Ellen make candied pecans at her house. So this bag you see is full of candied pecans, and I'm actually allergic to pecans, so I have gloves on specifically for these. But she made candied pecans, and actually she prepped them ahead and put them in the freezer, and they stored really well. And then she also made caramel corn for this. And I bought these little bags on Amazon to keep the caramel corn and the pecans in. Then my sister Nora was in charge of the dark chocolate pomegranate cake. Every year she makes this for Lizzie's birthday, so she thought it would be the perfect dessert. And this is actually the basket that she painted for Lizzie's gift for her shower. She also made one for one of our cousins that got married recently too. It was kind of a late wedding gift, but she does such an amazing job, and that is her gift for for pretty much anyone who gets married, she'll make them up a thrifted wicker basket, and then she'll paint the top of it. So it's really beautiful. I also have one. So as I mentioned, I wanted a lot of different grab and go options. So this is a turkey bacon sandwich. So I'm starting with a cranberry jam. This is our cranberry orange jam. The recipe for this is on our blog. And that is the base of my sandwich. And then I'm going to be adding on turkey. I'm going to be adding on bacon and then fresh greens. I also made this focaccia at home, and it just reminded me how easy this bread really is. If you want to get started with bread making, focaccia is a very simple way to get started. This is also a recipe that we have on our blog, and I encourage you to give it a try because it was fun, it was easy, and it turned out so delicious. Another reason I wanted to do a better job at delegating tasks is because I wanted there to be plenty of time for me to personally make sure that everything was extra special looking. So I ordered these Christmas themed parchments, I ordered skewers for each of my other sandwiches, and I had a very specific plan for how I wanted to design the table, like the grazing table. So I just wanted to make sure that everything was ready in time for me to actually enjoy setting it up, because I know last time we did this charcuterie table, it all happened so quickly. I felt like just very stressed out by the whole thing. But this time the day was just really lovely. My sister Nora came over the earliest. As you saw, she was making the cakes, stuff like that. And we turned on the British baking show, and we just enjoyed prepping for this shower while being able to kind of hang out with each other and again, watch our favorite show. I chose focaccia for the base of the sandwich because it is really nice to prep ahead. So I made this dough 2 days before the shower, and then I was able to get it mixed and then shape it and then put it in the fridge. And then when I was ready to bake it, I was able to just get it out of the fridge an hour prior and then bake it right then. So I was able to kind of take my time and have it prepped. I wasn't on a schedule with it where I would have to worry about baking at a certain time because this is such a flexible dough. So then I baked it the day before. I had it all cut. So then today I was able to just focus on assembling my sandwiches. So I had a full sheet pan. I actually had 2 sheet pans of focaccia for this. And then I cut them into these rectangles, and then I cut each piece in half. So these aren't 2 pieces of focaccia. This is 1 piece of focaccia that's sliced in half to make the sandwich. And then, as I mentioned, I bought these Christmassy looking parchments. They're actually just red florals, so they're not particularly Christmassy, but they go with the theme in that they were a beautiful, the designs were a beautiful red color. And then I started getting the table ready for me to start assembling the grazing table. So this is just a roll of craft paper. So I rolled it out to line my table, and my hopes is I'm not covering my entire table because I really want the items to fill this craft paper to the point where you don't even see the craft paper. Like, that's my goal, is to pack it so full that you don't even see the craft paper. But I take it down to the ends, and then I'm going to tape it to secure it so that when people are trying to move things and pick things out, it's just not shifting. So that is important, I would say, to tape it down. Craft paper is also nice if you're not packing your table, if you're not even doing a grazing table. It's nice to put down because you can actually use a marker to label what items are, like for Thanksgiving or a potluck. If there's a lot of different items and it's hard to maybe see what is what, it's nice to be able to just write on there, green bean casserole or pickled corn, just so people know what to expect when they bite into your dish. But as you can see, like I said, I'm taping it down because this will shift. My favorite sandwiches of the night, and probably my favorite thing we had for the whole shower, were these mini chicken sandwiches. And I really didn't do much for them personally, but I just assembled them. So I bought the buns from the store, and then I got the chicken locally from a chicken shop. They're just chicken fingers. And then I used Chick-fil-A sauce from the local grocery store and a little bit of lettuce. And they were just so delicious. And something that everyone could enjoy, even the picky eaters. And I also took a little bit of the parchment that I used on the focaccia sandwiches and I cut little squares out. And then when I skewered the sandwiches, it had a pop of color on it that kind of went with the theme of the shower. So I really liked how that design turned out. The skewers were also very necessary for these because it held the chicken in place. And I do think that if we didn't have the skewers, it would have been messy for the guests who were getting the chicken sandwiches throughout the night. I think they would have fallen apart. One thing that always looks good on a grazing table is a big salad. We actually have 2 salads, another one is coming. And it just adds a lot of color and different dimensions to the table. And also it's another thing that serves a lot of people. So, I have this bit large Caesar salad, and then we also had a spinach salad that we have coming later. And then what you see me putting on now is the small bags of the candied pecans. And these turned out so cute. They were so easy to fill space on the table because, like I said, I wanted this to look packed full. And the bags of pecans were just such an easy way to do that. And at the end of the night, we did have extra and people were just able to take them home so easily. And I think that was really fun for everybody to just feel like they could put a couple of these in their purses and just easily take them home. So, and they tasted delicious. So that was a bonus. Ellen did a really good job in making both of these. If you're interested in a little more information on how to do charcuteries for events, I do have a full blog post on it that kind of includes a calculator and how to estimate how much food you need based on the number of people you have coming. So I will link that below in the description box. Another great item to have on your charcuterie board or grazing table is lots of fruit. And it fills space easily. And it also brings so much color to your table. And, you can't get bright reds and purples from most things that you're going to have. Most appetizers are not going to be that colorful. So it's a really great opportunity to mix in some beautiful colors. So for this, I had, I want to say 8 pounds of strawberries and 8 pounds of grapes. And it was really a great number to fill this table. And we didn't have a ton left over of the fruit. And you can just see it's giving the grazing table the appearance that it's just spilling over full of food. And that's why I also, like I mentioned, loved the bagged caramel corn and candied pecans because they also contribute to that look of this table just being full and overfilling onto the rest of the table. And then I used a 2-tiered rack that we used for at the bakery. I brought it here for this shower to hold the focaccia sandwiches, and then I stacked the mini chicken sandwiches just to give them, like I said, more height. That is crucial when you're doing a grazing table. I was lucky that I have a bakery to draw from with plenty of cake stands and serving dishes. Paige brought some Swiss cheese dip, which is a family favorite. And this grazing table really came together. We also did a little hot chocolate bar with crock pot hot chocolate, marshmallows, Biscoff. And then, as you saw earlier, we actually decided to do sheet pan cakes. And this was nice because while Lizzie was opening her gifts, me and Ellen were just in the back cutting slices of cake. So when Lizzie was done opening her gifts, all the slices of cake were out on the table. This was probably my favorite event that I personally have hosted because delegated things and I was able to just kind of enjoy the evening and everything just went really smoothly. Things were not too crammed. There was plenty of seats for everyone. There's plenty of food for everyone. Everyone was able to take stuff home easily. And it was just a cozy, nice event. And I was just so thankful for all the help I had in planning it. As I mentioned, for the holiday season, we have started doing 2 classes a week. which means that every Tuesday and Thursday we have a class at 6 p.m. And this includes our Christmas cookie class and our Art of Brioche class. So our Art of Brioche class is really our cinnamon roll class. That is usually why people are taking it, to learn how to make our jumbo cinnamon rolls. If you're looking for that recipe for our jumbo cinnamon rolls, that is on the blog and I will link it below. But we basically teach how we make our basic brioche dough recipe and then how you can use that in many different ways. So in this class specifically, it is our holiday brioche class. So the class started with a Christmas latte. You learn how to make your brioche dough. We make cinnamon rolls, and then we make dinner rolls at the end. And then you also get to sample danishes, which are made from the same brioche dough, just laminated. And if you want to know more about what laminated dough is, we have talked about it many times in our other Week in the Lives, so I will link that playlist if you guys want to check out those. And so I love when they start to assemble their cinnamon rolls, because I just think that our students really enjoy doing the bakery style cinnamon roll. We give them the same size rollouts that we use each week, 107 ounces of dough rolled out with our sheeter, and they just have to put on the butter, the cinnamon sugar, and then they get to learn how to roll up the dough, how to cut it so that you get a more precise roll, how you get more consistent rolls. And then I give them all of my favorite cinnamon roll tips, and I will say I have a lot of tips on cinnamon rolls. Cinnamon rolls are really how we got our start, and they are still one of our best sellers at the bakery. And coming up, they will be we'll be making the most cinnamon rolls that we do out of the whole year, which is for Christmas Eve. We sell the most cinnamon rolls on Christmas Eve. People are able to pre-order them. We're not open on Christmas Eve, so we don't have a case of baked goods, but people are able to just order their cinnamon rolls and then come pick them up for Christmas Day. And so people can get already baked cinnamon rolls, and then we also have a take and bake option where they can bake them fresh Christmas morning, and it comes with icing on the side. Or they can take our brioche class and learn how to make them themselves, or you can go on our website and learn the recipe is on there as well. Many people are surprised that we give our recipes away, but the truth is they take a long time, and it's a lot of work to make cinnamon rolls. So if you're that dedicated to making them from scratch, you're probably going to learn to make them from scratch somewhere. So we're happy to share our recipe with whoever is wanting to make their own cinnamon rolls, but most people don't want to have to spend 3 hours dedicated to making cinnamon rolls. They'd rather stop by the Flour Barn and pick them up for their Christmas morning. I would say my two favorite parts about owning a microbakery is one, Saturday mornings. So the anticipation of seeing who's going to show up and then being able to interact with our customers. And then two is doing classes. I have found so much joy in one, just getting to know people, meeting new people, forming new personal connections, and just getting outside the house, because most of the time I'm stuck in my house with my two toddlers. It's really nice to get out and just talk to other people, especially other people who have the same interests as me. They love to bake. They're excited about learning something new. But then also, we have actually seen people take their knowledge and really use it in their daily lives, and that is so amazing to me, that they're learning a skill here at our bakery and then they're taking it home and using it for years to come. I would say our highest success rate is with sourdough. It's amazing to me how many people who took the class maybe even 3 years ago and are still to this day making a weekly loaf of sourdough. I just think that is such an amazing thing that we're able to give people the confidence to take their skills and bake in their own homes, because I love baking so much, and being able to get someone else in on the hobby of baking is just an exciting thing to me. So as many of you know, we did start a blog, me and Ellen together, which is just a website full of recipes And the reason we started that blog was because of our classes. We were teaching people a lot of different skills, and we wanted them to have a place to go to refresh themselves on what those skills are, what the tips we gave them were, and then also a place to go and find each of the recipes that we were teaching them. So like you see, nobody has notes. No, we're not giving the recipes out. Instead, they're able to just go home and we have a full article on this cinnamon roll recipe, this brioche recipe. So they're able to get all the tips that we mentioned there, as well as the full recipe. And then that's also what led us to start doing YouTube videos from our blog. So as you can see, they're making dinner rolls here, and these dinner rolls turned out so beautiful. And those are from the same simple brioche recipe. It's just that recipe divided into these small rolls, and I felt like this was perfect for our holiday class, because then maybe they can make dinner rolls for their Christmas dinners or work potlucks. So this was kind of a fun thing to do instead of what we normally do, which is loaves of brioche. So these went into the oven, they baked, and then we covered them with butter. And this was just such a fun class. As I mentioned earlier, Saturdays are really my favorite day of the week. They're really my favorite part of owning a microbakery. We are only open on Fridays and Saturdays, 8 to 11. Fridays are our more limited menu, and it's just not as big of a day as Saturday is. We don't have our full list of items. So Saturday, we're all here at 3 a.m. We're all in a rush to get the case set up, and there's just such an anticipation about seeing everybody come through the door and seeing who comes through the door. So I think that's why I just get so much excitement and joy from Saturday mornings. And this week was definitely extra special because we had decorated for Christmas. If you watched my last week in the life, I made these paper ornaments with my sister, and they were super simple. If you want to check out that video, I will link it. But we just cut little holes in those snowflakes and hooked them on to command hooks. So it was really easy, and I really feel like they look very dramatic and professional. So I didn't do paper chains this time because my dad told me paper chains make it look like a kindergarten classroom, which I don't agree, but I stayed away from the paper chains this time. The holidays are kind of an interesting time for us at the bakery because we are so busy in that we have classes on Tuesday and Thursdays. We're prepping ahead for Christmas Eve because we do so many rolls for it. But really, our Fridays and Saturdays are becoming a little bit slower because we are on a farm and we don't have indoor seating. So for people to come out here, it really is a commitment to come out to our bakery, and to still be coming out even when it's cold is really amazing that people are still coming out, and we appreciate all of them. But we definitely do make less product during the colder months because we do know that we're going to get less customers. But we still do get a lot of regulars in and new faces, and that's so exciting. But I do want to be transparent for those of you who are microbakers in your own community. It's not unusual to see a lull in the holidays for microbakers. You know, you'll get large catering orders for Christmas parties and for, like I said, Christmas Eve specifically, or Thanksgiving. But in those in-between months, people are busy. They're wanting to go places where they can be inside and be warm and have an experience. And it's difficult as a microbaker to give that in the colder months. So don't fret if you're a microbaker during this season. Also, to those who are microbakers, I would love to know any questions you guys are having or any videos you would like me to make directed to you. I have a video on the best products to sell at your microbakery, how to avoid being overwhelmed at your microbakery, and I was wondering, do you want an updated product list, my favorite packaging, things like that? I would love to help you guys out in any way that I can, because we definitely, we've been open for 5 years now, and we have learned a couple things, and some of this stuff I wish I had known in the beginning or had videos to watch, because there are definitely more now, but 5 years ago, there was very little content about how to bake on a large scale, how to manage filling your oven with enough baked goods to be making as much product as possible in your home oven. All of those things we had to figure out on our own. So I would love to be able to help you in any way that I can. And also to all my viewers, I am so thankful for each of you. I can't believe we're almost to 10,000 subscribers. That is wild to me, and I'm just so thankful for you guys sticking around to watch our videos. And if any of you have tried any of our recipes, I would love to know how they've gone, if you've enjoyed them, if your families have enjoyed them. So just be sure to comment and let me know if you've tried out those recipes and how they're working for you. If you're new to this world, the Flour Barn Homestead world, be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. And if you're looking for more recipes and blogging tips, be sure to check out the FlourBarnHomestead.com. And if you want to keep up to date with us, follow us at Flour Barn on Instagram or the Flour Barn on Facebook. So thank you guys for watching today. Let me know any comments or questions in the comments below, and I will see you in 2 weeks.